Hey, hey, hello, hi, welcome. It's Factorio time. We're going to be belting, we're going to be piping. Actually, we're going to be doing neither of those things. I have tricked you. You have been fooled. Behold. Alright, here's the plan. This is going to be stream 3 in the second season of Factorio Beltless Pipeless. I am mentally kind of discombobulated, so I don't know how big of a stream this will be. But I'm going to try because I want to keep to a schedule and make me unhealthy and burn out. It's going to be great. Anyway. Let's begin. And by begin, I mean continue. So let's assess what we have so far. We've created a wacky assembly system where all the resources we need from 2 different mines get funneled together to eventually make a bunch of inserters. So that's pretty cool. Outside of that, we also have a red and green science machine up here working at barely enough power. The factory itself is being run on like 8 solar panels and not enough steam engines, giving us generally a lot of power problems. Like, we are barely holding together. We've also started building a giant wall to defend ourselves against any hostiles. And so far it's secure from the south up to about here. We still need to extend it a little further to get to this lake. Unfortunately, there's like a base in the way, so we need to have a military solution there, which we do not have the resources for. The reason we don't have the resources for that is because we have no copper. Now we can make 18, and I think the next bottleneck is the iron. I would not say that our factory is well optimized, but I would say that it's a factory. Yeah, iron's a big bottleneck. Though it seems to be a bottleneck of the furnaces itself. We got plenty of ore. That is something to keep in mind. Built some bullet. Up. The place has begun to alter. Good to know. Could start doing some military actions. We could clear out these biters here. That might be helpful. I honestly open up these streams without really a good plan on what to do for the factory. My plans typically are just a real bit like freeform. Oh, it was the little checkerboard with asymmetrical, was it? Fair enough. We need to start thinking about mass production. Like, we don't have enough mines, we don't have enough furnaces. We need to actually build some things. There's plenty of space for more mining drills for the iron, and that's a good start. Oh. The coal! I forgot about the coal. Right, we still have a responsibility to ferry coal to all the places in the factory because we don't have electric furnaces yet. Or coal infrastructure. Yeah, that seems a little important. Oops! Didn't want to do that. I've been neglecting this as a duty, so I should probably just get a lot of coal. Oh man, we have no coal again. Didn't want to do that, I want to do it with coal. So all these are done, all those are done. Did a little bit of the iron just to finish that off. Then we'll be full everywhere. There. I think I choose for today to be very military oriented. I want to extend our... I want to secure the resources out in the distance so that we can start making some dedicated, like, facilities. This is going to require more bullet. The hardest part of more bullet is more iron. This will tragically incur a delay in the factory here. But I think it's okay. And now we can build a lot of bullet. I'm going to build a lot of grenade, and then I'm going to build a lot of bullet. And that's our plan. And with that plan, we will be able to hopefully get rid of this. It's kind of the idea. Get that wall up there, or maybe we could just stop here, but the oil is desirable. We could also go south instead. Secure this wall here. Actually, I would like to do that. Actually, maybe it'll be decided by the pollution spread. So this base we have to get to take care of. If we choose to get the south oil, then we don't have to worry about these bases up here. Well, maybe this one. It's still kind of on the border. And instead of going to the lake, we can start going across via the cliff. This wall down here is going to be gigantic, and we're going to need a lot more stone than I'm carrying to secure that. There's options. There's decisions to be made. Out of a desire to not be paralyzed by choice, I'm going to go with the cliff wall plan. So how to best do this? I think wall here to here, then follow the cliff along. So awkwardly, there is a giant forest here. And I'm stuck in it. Hold on. Spooky darkness. Spooky warfare. Alright, that was pleasantly effective. Okay, now I gotta go up here. I gotta find where the cliff ends and begin anew. There's the next cliff. We got 40 walls left. That's not really enough to do anything, but we'll still do something. Alright, this base is slightly bigger in that it has a worm. Victory. Now, as far as cliffside protrusions go, let's just start here. And that's as much wall as we're getting. Inserter capacity bonus 2 is the one that gives us the capacity bonus on our inserters themselves, which will be very helpful. Because we don't have stack inserters yet. There's 60 more brick. If that was 40, That'll be another 40, and then we get, like, there. I want, like, one more full inventory. Oh, I've missed a spot. I've forgotten how to place markers down on the map. Oh, add tag. Gap in wall. Think. There we go. There. Now I'll remember. Because I'll look at the map and it'll be like, hey, there's a problem here. Yeah, that'll help with the throughput a little bit. Can I build a steel furnace right now? No, I have no stone brick. Oh, I have no coal again. Right, because I used it on grenades, I remember now. The 3 wall, good enough. In theory, I should develop car technology, but last time I invented car technology, all that happened was I crashed into a bunch of trees and got frustrated. I'll walk. Alright, where's that gap in wall? There's that gap in wall. I can't see a dang thing. Fortunately, grenades exist. There. So with 109 wall left, can we finish this side? It'll be close. $32 left. I don't think we're making it. Wait. Just enough. That is perfect. Okay, so. Assuming we don't have any more gaps in the wall. Which we don't. That is our northern flank. All that we'll have to care about there is static defenses, and we'll have a very good early alert system for if biters are trying to invade. Outside of that, it's just a matter of the south. These and these are in the way, and then once they're gone, we can expand to this oil, which is our primary goal. I'm not concerned about this southern flank right here, if only because there's no pollution getting nearly anywhere near close enough to make biters be a problem. That's it. I still have 109 bullet. Get some of these new recipe unlocked alerts out of the way. Why do you think trees are green specifically? Like, I understand why that color has resulted from, like, you know, chlorophyll and like the solar absorption process, but like, why green specifically? Why not a different wavelength of light? Is it just based on like what atoms or molecules were available to construct organic matter out of, or is there like an optimization going on there? Alright, you're getting the grenades. Hey, we did it. I'm out of grenades, but we still have one more target to go. Could build more grenades. I don't need grenades, but I like grenades. I think they're very efficient at taking out a densely concentrated pack of stuff at the cost of being kind of haphazard to use. And even though you can technically shoot at the same time, it's hard to shoot at the same time. Nice. Okay, that's the oil secured. Technically, we need to put infrastructure over there. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to make a lot of electric poles. We're going to make a giant line of them out to that location. We're going to put a radar there, and then we're going to put a turret. Put some of our spare bullets in there, and then we should be good. Gotta pay attention to where I'm walking. Can't just exposition out into the void. Gotta use my ability to see things to see things. Uh-oh, looks like we are experiencing a brownout. How tragic. Oh, it looks like it's over. Nope. Okay, yeah, the steam engines are staggered. Not exactly sure how to solve that. This might help. But remember what we're here for. We're here for electric poles and one radar. There's our radar. And there's electric poles. 80 should be enough. It better be enough. Maybe I should make these in smaller batches. Very conveniently, it seems that you build large electric poles faster than you place them by running at default speed. I wonder how fast you'd have to make yourself go in order to build them slower than you place them. I guess we would measure that in how many legs you would need to put on your exoskeleton machine. Alright, where's the oil? According to my map, we should be right here. Good thing I brought grenades. A little more to the north. Okay. Let's see what we can see. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, they're all accounted for. Excellent. So, phase 2 of our occupation plan. Get ourselves the radar. I never built the turret. We'll cancel the things. We can afford the turret. Okay. That was almost terrible. Alright, you get these bullets. Good. Now that radar will scan the area, let us know a bit further what's out there and what we need to care about. Can we build any pump jacks? We can build one, but it doesn't really matter if we don't have the infrastructure to move the materials back. My eyes are glancing up at the research. It's about to be finished. Very excited for that. Get ready for that. All right, we have inserter capacity bonus 2. All of our non-stacker inserters, which is all of the inserters we're using so far, can now hold an additional item. This is huge for us because it means that basically every single inserter we have so far has doubled its throughput. This is not just throughput per second, but it's also items per kilowatt has been halved. This is good for our energy usage as well, secretly. That's the secret benefit. But it also means that plenty of things that were restricted by throughput before can now run a bit faster. We are moving double the amount of coal through the steam engine line, which should help us significantly in the time to come. These lines going to the research facility can now hold double the materials, which means that the electric mining drills are no longer the bottleneck in this process. Is great. Oh, this one's is only expecting 24 resources left. Uh-oh. What do we get next? We can get some bullets, we can get some armor, we can get some military science, we can get some landfill, we can get some flame. We can get some lab speed, we can get some car, we can get some stronger explosives, we can get modules, we can get sulfur, we can get fluid wagons, which do literally nothing for us. We can do projectile damage further, we can get concrete, we can get mining productivity, or we can get inserter capacity bonus further. I think we are solidly in an era of we need to get some chemical processing. We need oil. It's the only path forward. And I would like batteries for accumulators. The flammables is appealing as well. Because it would get us like flamethrowers and rocket fuel. Nah, we'll go sulfur. Meanwhile, I'm gonna... What am I gonna... Oh, it seems that the inserter factory is full. This is actually great news for us. It means we don't have to keep leeching resources off it. And the iron and steel buffers can now just be purely for our own usage. I ran out of coal again. I've got a crafty little idea. Let's do this. Now the coal will go into here, which will then go into these furnaces. This is technically not a problem. If it was iron, then this would be a problem. So I am just gonna policy of putting in the correct inserter for this, just so that we remember. Please whitelist coal. There. Oh, no, wait, this is a problem, because then this will pull... No, wait, wait, stop. This will not actually work, because then it will put coal into the train, and we do not want coal in the train. I mean, okay, every single car in the train is filtered, so it should go in the train, but I don't want the possibility of it going into the train in the future if we use that design somewhere else. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, oil. We need 6 pump jacks. We need... I think we need 7 assembly machines. We need an arbitrary amount of electric poles. And we have inserters. Get ready, folks, because we are soon to arrive at barrel time. Everyone's favorite time of barrel. I'm not actually prepared to do barrel time. Like, I don't have it set up. So I'll just stall, or I'll just frantically set it up if barrel time occurs. Oh, hold on. What if I did something absolutely egregious? What if I did pump jack directly in to oil refinery? I mean, it'd work temporarily, but in the long term, that'd be a disaster. Let's start seeing what we have to work with here, though. 6, 7. So that one has to go up, or sideways, I guess. Okay, this is going to be an absolute pain. I forgot how much of a pain it was before. Wait, did I only build 6? Okay, forget the assembly machines for a second. So just given the amount of trees, we're going to put the station off to the left. So, 7. We need 7. We don't need it. We only need 7 because we take them from here, put them on the train immediately. Okay. Just 1 per each pump jack. This is going to be our new headache zone. Fluid processing. It will be a headache forever, effectively. But we'll think of something. Casually glancing at the minimap, I like what the radar is showing me. There's a thin bit of water to our right, east. And another lake to the south. Which means we can very easily make 1 horizontal and 1 vertical wall. It's even possible that the thing to our east is a peninsula of some kind. Which would be even better. Does this work? Well, I'm okay. It won't work like that. So that's our best option. Illegal due to the electric pole placement, but we can move the electric pole. It's a question of, is that worth it? I don't know. You. Oh, I could also do this. That's cool. All right. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into here. This will fill crude oil. you're ready to go. Okay. So what's the alignment on this? Is the alignment even necessary? I have an idea. So my plan is that the input will be over here. Go to each of the barrels stations, and then the output will be on the top side, sort of coming out over here. So I just need to make sure that everything on this side can escape out through this hole, which means this is deciding our alignment, at least horizontally. And unfortunately, to reach this one, the vertical alignment needs to be the same. Or the horizontal alignment needs to be the same. No, sorry. Yeah, the horizontal. So this will be the vertical. And that's our alignment. there's a lot of problems I've discovered on how to make this work. It's occurred to me that the oil processing facility will be terrible to build. But I don't want to think about that right now. I just want to think about getting some rails. Also, I'm sorry I wasn't talking for a bit there. I don't know exactly how long that went. You mostly just missed me panicking about the fact that this will be a giant mess. Which, you know, I can do that anyway. I have that power. I wonder if instead of making the mic mute a toggle, I should make it like a press and hold to keep muted possibility. Because I don't really mute the mic for very long when I mute the mic, incidentally. It'll also force it on in almost all situations unless I'm actively suppressing it, which might be a bit more logical to do. Yeah, something to think about. I wonder if that's an option. Usually there's push to talk, but I wonder if I can make like push to shut up. Anyway, we have 107 rail now. If we want the oil processing plant that we make here to be the permanent oil processing plant when we do like heavy cracking, then it has to be close to water. If we don't care, then we don't have to care. For now, though, I'm going to try and park it north of the iron mine and a bit east of the science plant, simply because, yeah, it's close enough. Maybe we could put the oil refinery just straight into the chemical processing machine. That'd be funny. Now I know I'm making like an awkward one wide track with no variations, which means only one train can operate on it at a time. I'm interested in doing like a proper full train network, but not now. Just later. Yes, I could make some cool like grid square thing. I'm out of rails. They don't warn you for how fast you run out of rails. You need a lot of them. The ghost. The circle. Alright, this is going to require some deforestation. Do I have any spare grenades? I can make some. While I do this, I guess I'll make the output station. So just somewhere here in this empty plot of land, a bit north, just to keep it stable. Let's just say the station is like here. Alright, the station's gonna take a bit. Queued up too much stuff. I'm just trying to avoid the cliffs, because I don't have cliff explosives, and I don't like using cliff explosives that much because I like cliffs existing. I think they're a cool geological feature, and also just a cool, like, challenge to circumvent. Though, really, I just like them as a indestructible wall to keep biters out. So I try and use cliff explosives very sparingly. There we go. Condolences to the very cool looking blue trees, but I've got a rail line to make. So that is the rail line straight to where it needs to go. Next, we will make a station and an oil refinery as soon as I grab some stone. I mean, I have stone, but I need, like, the brick. The first order of business for things that we want to build is batteries so that I can finally solve our energy crisis. Speaking of an energy crisis, I'm going to preempt myself by getting some coal. Start filling in some furnaces. Another thing I should do is finally solve once and for all the me having to haul around all this coal. And to do that, I should probably go research electric furnaces, which we can't yet because we need the chemical science, advanced materials to make electric furnace. But it's not that bad. Once we get sulfur and plastic for advanced circuits and engines, we can do it. These furnaces up here are getting coal already. We don't need to care about them. Anyway. Oil refinery, chemical plant. Station. Boom. So, pretend you're an oil refinery. What you do. You refine the oil. So, the barrel system for this is actually going to need to be a little awkward. Because as I was saying before about the buffer requirements, we need to make sure that we just sort of arbitrarily elongate how many barrels get off the train before it starts refilling. So we're going to make this little snake here. That way, the filter inserter will pick up at least 10 barrels, making an empty slot for the full barrels to be put back into the train. If inserters worked like Minecraft dispensers, where they selected a random slot in the inventory to remove an item from, this would never work. Fortunately, they simply take the first item in the top left corner as available, which makes this entirely possible and fairly easy. Crude oil barrel. There we are. This assembler is going to Empty the crude oil barrels. And then our lovely little, very big actually, oil refinery. We'll take it, turn it into petroleum. Then we will have our chemical plant. We're going to need a few more chemical plants, actually. Chemical plant, we can make sulfuric acid, or we could make solid fuel. We could make sulfur. We could make batteries. Okay, this complicates matters. Look at the sulfur recipe as it exists. Petroleum gas, water. The implications of this are actually very dire. We could, you might think, just bring in water to over here and then unbarrel it. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, you'd be totally correct. We can absolutely do that. It would take one assembly machine here, emptying water into this, and then just up here to a barreler, which is being fueled by an offshore pump. In fact, that's so doable, I want to do it. It will give us sulfur. Then the next step in this process is to make sulfuric acid, which is that plus iron plus more water. And that's going to require more assembly machines, but we're out of iron, so we can't. I was wondering why the factory halted, but that's because we got battery research and never replaced it with anything else. Let's get chemical science research. Now that we're on the cusp of chemical science being researchable. So you will need your own. As well as we need the water filler. So in essence, you can just go in there, empty your own water, put it in here. Now we get iron from anywhere, and we'll get sulfuric acid. From there, the recipe for batteries is another chemical plant, which is sulfuric acid, iron, and copper. So at the end of this whole long chain of confusion, we will have created batteries using this absolute pain of a collection of Porky Pig time. This makes batteries. Somehow. It's a monstrosity, but it works. All it needs as input is crude oil from the oil plant, water from an offshore pump up here, iron and copper, which can be acquired from anywhere iron and copper is sold. And it'll make little batteries. What we really want the batteries for, right now at least, is the accumulator, which we have not actually researched. Accumulators require 5 batteries and even more iron. Which means That's just another level of indirection. So imagine for a second, the iron's just coming in from this line here. Copper's coming in from this line here. So we've got like an iron line, a copper line. And then once the water's in, that's just it. We're making accumulators for free. It's great. So let's make those accumulators. So things we do actually still need is the water input. So conveniently, we can do something like this. And we'll long-handed inserter it all the way up to a combination of an offshore pump, which I'm legally saying does not count as a pipe because they are required for progression in the game. Put here. Then a barreler here. So then full barrels will come down here, enter at their favorite rest stop. And here's where the genius comes in. They will... Okay. Genius temporarily unavailable. Please stand by. Okay, there we go. Then... they'll just be brought up the exact same vertical line back into the machine. So now all this needs is electricity and barrels. Yes, we also need the inserter that will go from the sulfur machine to the chemical plant. Critical piece of infrastructure. Now that's all the power. We just need to make sure that the power is connected to here somewhere. Alright, that's full power. Now we just need... even one barrel is enough to get the water system running. So I'm going to make 10. If we ever want to increase the throughput of this thing, we can just add more barrels. There, fixed it. It was broken, but I fixed it. How much water goes into a single barrel? 50, I think. Yeah, 50. So now these are full, so the barrel system has stopped with full water. A little bit. Excellent. Now we just need iron and copper, which we can get in a semi-awkward fashion of ransacking it from this area over here, or we can build another train. I don't want to build another train. I'm lazy. Too lazy for trains. You can be upgraded. Genius level plan. Genius level diabolical scheme. I'm incredible. We're going to upgrade these bottom three to steel. And that'll work at exactly the same rate as it did before, except in less space. Now we have room up here to ransack the line. The only problem is that this is a different alignment than I was planning for the inserters. But that shouldn't be much of a problem because the copper only has to go to one location. Another problem is I forgot which one's the iron and which one's the copper. Okay, that's the copper. The iron's suffering from a little bit of an off by one error. Forgivable, and not that big of a deal in the long run. Cool. Oh, the accumulator technology hasn't even been researched yet. That's fine. Get out of my way. Okay, you go in there. The copper is here. That is the copper. That's the copper in the battery machine. That's good. Now it's just iron in the everywhere else machine. There's one. There's two. Iron is not going in here because we don't have the recipe to put it in yet. Okay. Just clarify, verify everything so far. I said clarify, but like clarify, but verify. Petroleum gas is... So, we have the iron, we have the copper. This needs the... Oh, it still needs the batteries. Right. Boop, boop. Boop. Two-thirds of the way there. I will wait. But just to confirm. The iron is going in there. The batteries will go in there. Iron and copper is going here. It needs sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is ready to go. It just needs sulfur. Sulfur is ready to go. It just needs petroleum gas. Petroleum gas is ready to go. It just needs crude oil. Crude oil is ready to go. It just needs crude oil barrels. Crude oil barrels are coming from the station. From a train that is ready to go as soon as I build it. We need to build a train. We need 40 engines. steel. Get those. Actually, I think we only need 40 of those. And then 80 of these. Okay, so they put 40 in there right now. I'm going to build a second assembly machine that just makes pipes. Go in there. I'm going to put 40 exactly into this machine so they have no extra. Good. Now this will make everything while we do other stuff. Like wait for the accumulator technology to finish. Ugh. What can we do in that time? We can build a cargo wagon. We need that for the train. We need fuel to be available for the train. We can get that fuel from our furnace coal line. This is actually ideal. Never mind, we're out. So instead of doing anything too clever for my own good, I'm just going to wrap around the edge of the station and input from the sides. This is the first time we ran out of long-handed inserters in a while. And it's a perfect opportunity for us to remember to get more by going to our local inserter factory. Electric energy accumulators technology is finished. I am happy about this news. We don't have the infrastructure for blue science just yet, so we are going to have to stick with what we know. And what we know is explosives. Explosives are made using sulfur and coal, which means we could technically start making explosives technology. That's good for rockets and stuff, I think. Okay. Give me some long-handeds. The virtue of the inserter factory is now is now apparent, I guess. So order of business number A. Let's get power to these. Oh, I'm clever. You. This is confirmation to me that the line is working up until this point where I accidentally put an insert in the wrong spot. You're ready for an input. You are also. Excellent. The oil stations are ready. The electricity is struggling. Understandable, we did lay down a lot more technology. What? It's a short-term, long-term solution, but let's hook up these to the steam engine system. In fact, why not just bite the bullet and put another steam engine down? How do we even do that, though? Where are they hiding the steam engines on me? There they are. More iron. Another one. I'm building 2 boilers, and you might be wondering, hey, why are you building 2 boilers? Answer, because we can't use pipes. You know what, just to be fancy, I'm putting it in backwards. Oh, man. I just had the world's worst idea. We could use boilers to move the water from the offshore pump directly into the oil refinery or whatever equivalent chemical processing plant we need to. Because these are valid fluid transfer machines. And they're allowed by our rules because they're not pipes. Oh, goodness me. Oh, dear. Oh, my, oh, me, oh, my, oh, me. How's the radar doing? Okay, that is confirmed to be a peninsula as part of just one giant eastern lake. Really happy about that. It means we can put a nice wall here. Nothing to worry about. Also happy that there's no biters. Hey, look, explosives. We can go kaboom. Flamethrower fuel is crude oil. That's interesting to me. I've never used flamethrowers. I typically just have my static defenses be laser turrets, so I don't use the flamethrower turrets. And I'm not the most hands-on with offensive military action. So flamethrower technology is something I've never bothered to investigate for myself. We still don't have military science, so we could get it. Is there anything I'd rather get? Maybe cliff explosives, if we are just going to be making, like, large rail yards. We could get advanced. No, we can't. We need blue. We don't have blue. Yeah, let's go cliff explosive. Everything going well at the factory? How's the engines? We're at 33, it looks like. 34. Great, great, great. Build one train while we're at it. So we've got a train, we've got a cargo wagon, we'll have a second train, and we'll be ready to go. Three more to go. Two more to go. Final engine. There, we did it. Okay, okay, okay. A lot of good is coming from this. Wait, 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 wait. Stop that. I almost put in the wrong recipe. You are accumulators. Can I steal some iron from here just so I can build more of whatever it was I was about to build? Oh, yeah, lights. We want to be able to see our genius, don't we? Oh, wait a minute. I forgot a step. I forgot a step. It's that we need barrels for the train. We can't just put liquids into the cargo wagons. We need containers for the liquids specifically. And that means it is barrel time. I'm going to need to prepare this. But while I prepare it, I'm going to try and narrate what's going to be required of us in the near future. So we need the barrels. This will be full train, full of barrels, every single slot possible. One cargo wagon can hold 40 stacks of item. Barrels stack to 10. So by that logic, we need 400 barrels. A barrel crafts at a speed of 1 second. So that's 400 seconds of barrel. Now, if you do the math on that, that's approximately 6 minutes 40 seconds. And by approximately, I mean basically exactly. We don't even have enough steel for that many barrels. We're actually going to have to wait on the steel before we can win in the barrels. This is technically good because it gives me more time to prepare. Now, admittedly, I'm trying to stall as best as I can because I'm having a hard time finding the I'm actually having a little difficulty finding the technology I need on the stream side in order to make barrel time happen. It's not where I thought it would be. What if I view the actual item? Extra large is way too big. Yeah, it's not here. Why isn't it here? Aha! Here it is. Okay, now I need to remember what the files are. It's not here. Here. All right. Okay. All right, I'm gonna mute the game for a second just because I need to science this and I don't want to reveal the surprise too quickly. Good news. It's working. Unfortunately, we don't have enough steel plate. However, if we make an investment, we can spend some steel plate to get more steel plate faster. Now, by spending 20 steel plate just now, we have tripled the rate at which steel plate is being made. And we only need 75. I've physically placed down the train. Yes, okay. I mean, I can start adding the station logic while I'm here. So, Gurgalati is our station. So, item count, we are going to want there to be crude oil barrels at greater than or equal to 4,000. Wait. Is this math correct? It's 40. And there's 10. It's 400. Sorry. Little order of magnitude issue there. Then it'll go to ASCII, and it'll wait for item count of empty barrel greater than or equal to 400. And I'm just doing greater than or equal so that the game understands that we are waiting for it to go from 0 to 400 so that the little green progress bar that it has on the train logic shows up. That way we can, like, visually infer, like, progress to that goal. Because if you just do equals, the game has no idea what it considers, like, the starting point to the end point of green. Unless the starting point is just what the train's cargo capacity was at when the train arrived, but that's not always a good assumption. It's a decent assumption most of the time, but we're just covering our bases. Anyway, How's our steel gone? We need 30 more. We need 14 more. 12, 11, 10, 9, 9, 8. We're gonna make it. 7, 6, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now I'm putting it at exactly 400 just so that I can just conveniently shift click and build all the barrels without accidentally making extra. We want to be very careful with barrel supply when dealing with these trains. Train barrels must be a closed loop system with no leaks, no overflow, no underflow, otherwise the entire system is destroyed. Cliff explosives are done. Alright, final research cars. Meanwhile. Do I even have everything I need for barrel time on the stream side of things? Hold on, let me check this. I have fish time, but that's not barrel time. I've got an idea. Step 1. I don't have an elegant way of making all of this happen at once, but it should work. Assuming I know what I'm doing. Where's place? Here's place. You are about to see some technology here. I've accidentally started moving the train. Oh wow, the game actually has an opinion on which way is forward inside this cargo wagon. Despite the fact that it cannot be rotated. So like, I press forward, it goes up. This probably is because I placed down this train first. So this cargo wagon was built on the assumption that this train is the only train forward. Which is an interesting circumstance here. Which makes me wonder, if I pick up that train, put it back down, add coal to it, it still says it's up. If I remove this train entirely again. Okay, now up is down. And now it's back to being up. Okay. That's a cool little interaction. I wonder how it decides. Maybe it is relative to the train. Or relative to the cargo wagon's orientation. Like, from here, that's forward. That way's forward. But I put the train back in. Add fuel. It's still that way. That is very interesting. I don't exactly know what's going on, but it's interesting. Anyway, I've stalled for long enough. You're about to see some shenanigans here. Are you ready? For it is time to barrel. Oh, that's the wrong button. And boom. All right, let's do this. You know what time it is. Oh, it's been so long I've missed barrel time. But that's not all. Observe place at the top of your Twitch stream. We're in Marquee! We have all the technology, and it's all being used for barrels. System crash has been called for. All right, barrel time's over. All right, marquee mode off. There we go. Barrel time is just 4 minutes and 40 seconds of some mayhem. There we go. All right, now we put the barrels in here. Oh, great. Now I have to go back to, like, playing the game. All right, so, station's ready. Let's test it out. The train drives ever so slowly over here. Now that barrel time is over, I'm going to give you a bit of a statement on... Oh, I forgot to whitelist barrels. My bad. There we go. A bit of a technical limitation on the marquee mode of place in the top is that it does not update to the new, like, redemptions of channel points while it's in marquee mode. You have to, because it only reads the source of the data while it's in regular mode. While it's in marquee mode, instead of reading the source, just reads the source once at the start, and then just marquees it forever. So when System Crash was redeemed at that one point, I had to actually stop marquee mode and then restart it immediately, which you didn't notice because it went to randomness. So it didn't look like the marquee stopped, it just looked like it became a complete mess and then the marquee resumed. That's just a little fun fact behind the scenes moment for you. But now that it's no longer in marquee mode, everything's been updated and is now properly functioning. So. But basically, updates made during marquee mode don't get shown until marquee mode is over. Unless I do it manually. Which I did for the system crash, but... Oh, you are missing an exit path there, little barrel boy. There we are. So this is working, technically. While automobilism is done, let's just get something simple like bullet speed. That said, I don't know why that most recent redemption didn't go through. I'll try it myself, just to verify. Has place broken? I've rebooted it, so it should now be operational again. Let me just use my, as the streamer, infinite supply of channel points to redeem that for you. There we go. I don't want the points to go to waste, but the system does have some, like, bugs need ironing out. I'm not the best when it comes to network protocol things. Like, I gotta, like, do an entire web API to access the channel point redemptions, redeem, like, reinterpret the code and just make all that work. It's not clean, but I'll try and manually intervene so that nobody feels like they've been robbed. But inevitably some inputs may be dropped, especially with how slapshod my system is currently. Anyway, barrels are loading in nicely. Once this is done, we'll see what the train does at the other station. Prove everything's working. Only 12 more to go. But where are they? Here? They're here. All of them are here. Why, though? Goes in here. This successfully goes to here, but this... Oh, it's off by 1. This whole thing is off by 1. There. This is why we test. And we're full. Train's gonna head back to the north via this very long rail line that we built for this exact purpose. And here we are. Then the barrels go into here, get emptied at a rapid pace. They go into the oil processor, which gets oil processed. Then it goes into the sulfur machine, which makes the sulfuric acid. And the sulfur in general, which then goes into here to make the batteries. The batteries then go down here to be built into accumulators. Everything is functioning. That said, we probably want a machine dedicated to, not a machine, but like a storage area dedicated to holding those accumulators. So I'm going to go build a cargo wagon real quick because we don't have access to chests because that's not allowed in the challenge that I have set for myself. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. What am I missing? Even more? Oh, I never took the steel. That's a problem. There we go. There we go. Cargo wagon, some rails to put it on. Now, we don't need much in the way of actual storage, so I'm just going to make it 1 block, 1 square. And we have now created one entire accumulator factory. Our electricity problems are going to be increasingly less problematic. Now, the only thing we're really missing now is a convenient sort of solar panel factory. Once we mass produce solar panels and accumulators, we can just start placing them anywhere we have free space, thus providing for us all the energy we could need. And finally replacing the very pollutant heavy and hard to sustain steam engines. Now, the path to solar panels as our technology of choice isn't easy. But I think it will be beneficial. So independent of this thing making batteries, this is also just a sulfur factory. We could trail off some sulfur and bring it to literally anywhere else. Question is, where exactly in the grand world of literally anywhere else do we want to bring it? First off, let's get the alignment right so I can actually escape from the city. Okay. We have now, in diabolical fashion, made a power system that now outputs sulfur to over here. We can now use it for stuff. Hey, we got weapon shooting speed. That's nice. Laser is an option now. It was already an option. While I stall for time, let's get flammables. What uses sulfur? I think blue science uses sulfur. Yes, it requires sulfur, 3 advanced circuits, and 2 engines. Engines are pure iron and steel. That's well within our capabilities. Sulfur, we just got sulfur. Advanced circuits, however, are a different beast entirely. For they require the rare and highly dangerous advanced circuits, which are themselves. There's a bit of recursion going on. But the advanced circuits require plastic. And plastic is another oil resource. An entirely different oil resource than sulfur. I accidentally started building a shotgun. No. Plastic is built from petroleum gas and coal. We are technically piping coal up here already. And we're doing it for the purposes of fueling the train. The big problem is that the oil refinery only has one output. So unless we want to do some weird barrel tech, we have to choose where it's going. The alternative is to make another station slightly south over here that does its own oil refinerying. The good news about plastic compared to the sulfur is that it doesn't need water. We don't need to care about the offshore pump, so we can afford to put it further away. So if we hypothetically build a second station down here for another oil train to work off of, it'll come here, refine the oil into the crude oil, or just unbarrel it, make it petroleum gas. Then we add coal from this line to make it plastic. Then we get some electronic circuits from over here, bring it down along with more copper cable. We can make advanced circuits. And with advanced circuits, along with another production line to make engines, we will have blue science. And blue science will give us a lot of game-changing technology, like lasers, the substation, electric furnaces, inserter stack bonuses, even more, but not really ones that we care about yet. Advanced electronic circuits, in general, will give us access to a lot of technologies we could not build so far, like modules, or the stack inserters, or the electric furnaces that we want to build. So it's very lucrative and very important that we make this happen. So let's make this happen. I'm going to put the second train station here. Actually, I'm going to put it here. It will be an exact replica of the first station's sort of design philosophy. But now that we have multiple trains going on a single track, we are going to have to care about rail signals. Rail signals are unintuitive, but ultimately simple. Rail signals are one directional. They go on the right-hand side of a track relative to the forward direction of the train, and they tell it where it goes. It can signal whether a train is in front of the signal or not. So, if you kind of see these like colored bars that exist, this has separated the track into two blocks. Everything before the rail and everything after. If we put another rail down, it will separate it even further. So these rails act as the borders between region of track. The general point of this is to know whether or not a train is or is not in one of these regions. This will allow other trains to know whether they need to stop and wait for a train in front of them to no longer be in front of them. What does this mean for us? Well, consider this station. Or just consider this line of track in between these two stations. If one train is at station already, then we want to make sure that a train won't try and go to the petroleum fill-up while a train is there. So if we put some rail signals here, the sulfur train will stop here if the plastic train is anywhere to the right of this line. So it's filling up at the petroleum. And it needs to stop here because if it doesn't stop here, it'll try and go to the station and the train will be in the way. And the plastic train can't get back into its station because the train has moved forward and is now blocking the track on the way. So we want these signals here to stop a train from doing that. But these signals are one directional. We need to make sure that they exist in the opposite direction as well. Otherwise, trains will not be allowed to even go to their own station. So now you can see that this track is red because there is a train at this station. It's our oil train. It's the plastic train we've already built. If we built a new train and put it here, then this one would go red as well. If we wait for... no, it's going to take forever. But in a hypothetical world where there was a train that was to the east at the petroleum fill-up station, or at the oil fill-up station, which will be represented by this wagon I'm putting here, both of these have turned red because there's a train in front of it. So any train... So now if the plastic train comes back, it'll stop here and wait until the track is cleared. These four signals by themselves is technically enough for our purposes. In the future, if we want to like let the train go through but have a sort of like buffer wait area over here, like so like a train can sort of like track in over here, wait for the crude oil to be ready and then move in like right on station, then we're going to need chain signals to make that happen. But we don't have to care about chain signals right now because we don't even have a second train. And a second train means we need to build 40 more freaking engines. So how are we going to build 40 more freaking engines? Well, we need 80 pipe. We also need the steel, which we already have, and we're going to need some gears, which requires iron. We're going to need 40 of those gears. In order to increase the speed of making these engines, I'm going to make two assemblers, and I'm going to split the resources between them. So, for instance, I'm going to fill both with steel, because steel is just the I don't care overflow. then I'm going to put half the pipes in each. And then once the iron gears are done, I'll put half in each. Good. Okay, this will make the engines about twice as half as they were made before, because we have two things making them. That's how math works. And we still have that cargo wagon that I did pick up, yes. Outside of that, it's going to be a lot of what we did before. Assembly machines going into this, into an oil refinery, and then another chemical plant. But that chemical plant will not be making sulfur, it will be making plastic. Oil refinery requires electronic circuits. I am appalled by how slow this is. My standards for speeds have increased. There we go. Do we have a chemical plant still? No. Need steel. So chemical plant, that'll make plastic, and then we just make more assemblers for stuff. This will not be the cleanest system ever, but it will work. Oh, silly me, I need a station as well. Station in. These are just going in to fuel the train. That is their mission. So, assembly machine, let's see, here to same system as last time. So, I have an in, then a bunch of ups and a bunch of downs. So, white list, crude oil, up, down. This will empty the crude oil barrels into the oil refinery. It will and do the oil. I just had a thought. Maybe we don't need. Maybe we don't need electric pumps. That's a question for another time. For now, though, we continue like this. This will make plastic. Plastic is as simple as that. and then we have an output. That's really all there is to it. The greatest threat of plastic is really the coal requirement, which is not something you tend to have a bulk manufacturing pipeline for. Or at least when you do, it's kind of a sort of a side artery, which is kind of an oxymoron. Oh, the train's gone. Cool. Speaking of train, how's those engines going? Oh, they're done! Wow, that was a lot faster than I was paying attention to. So yeah, this is plastic. Then we'll take the plastic somewhere. Don't know where. Along with the electronic circuits and some more wires, and we will make advanced circuits. And from the advanced circuits, the sulfur, and then like an actual engine production facility, which I'll just bolt over here maybe. We will make blue science. Not a lot of it, but enough that we can start doing some research. It'll be very slow. I don't know how to do it in mass yet. But also, I don't have to care yet. So, the train. Let's start building this train. So your schedule is going to be very simple, or very similar to the other one. You will go to Gargalati, wait for an item count of 400 crude oil barrel. And then you will go to Shrek 84. Wait for an item count of 400 empty barrels. In fact, go there now. I'm ordering it to go here now so it'll fill up on fuel. In fact, because of that, I can actually take the fuel I've given it back because I barely have any. No, that's just rude. I'll leave it in the train. So, what am I missing? I'm missing long-handed inserters to put the barrel back into the train. I'm missing power for that. But yeah, the moment this thing gets oil, it will make plastic. This is in perfect alignment with the coal, which is unacceptable. We must go one off vertically. One, two, three, four. Now it's easier to think of if they're all in alignment. That. There. This is our plastic line. It's actually conveniently going close to the sulfur line, which is honestly just a coincidence. Hey, the oil train's back. So, you may have realized now that we've built another train designed to transport fluids. It's even the same fluid, crude oil. And the implication of this is that we need to build 400 more barrels for that train. Which implies that this would be a time in which barrels are constructed. However, I do not feel comfortable doing more than 1 barrel time per stream, just because it is a giant moment of hectic confusion. And we kind of want to, you know, pace ourselves a little bit. There will be plenty of more, you know, fuel or like fluid trains in the future. So I hope you don't mind if I do this barrel time off stream, just off camera, like in between this session and the next one. And we don't have to go through the whole hectic mess within like the course of like a half hour. If that's all right with you. I mean, not that it has to be all right with you. I'm the one in control here, but like, you know, it doesn't mean we have to be at odds with each other. Is it necessary? Wait, yes. Alright, we're starting to get into proper inserter spaghetti, which is technically not spaghetti, because spaghetti is what you do with transport belts, and we don't have any. I think meatballs is what is called when there's like a high density of assemblers and there's like inserter shenanigans between them. But I also feel like these long lines with their kind of wavy motion, if I were to associate them with a pasta, probably like lasagna. Like this is inserter lasagna. Wait, what do you mean need to save up? You don't have to save up coins for barrel time. This is barrel time. Or do you intend to use system crash every time barrel time occurs? In which case, that is concerning. These could go on the same alignment as the coal. That's something to keep in mind. It was fun. And there will be more barrel times. And if you want to be a harbinger of every time barrel time happens, a system crash occurs, that's on you. But I really don't have anything else to do except make the barrels. Okay, new plan. I'm gonna outsource barrel production for just this one. So like I'll have an assembly machine that makes the barrels just so I can like make sure progress still happens, but that there's a justifiable reason why barrel time isn't happening despite the fact the barrels are being made. So to facilitate this, 1, 2, 3, 400. This will fill up, and that means that the moment it fills up, it'll be operational. While that happens, let us take this opportunity to build up the southern defensive wall. Because we have finally seen enemies to the south. How many walls can we build so far? 66. Let's double that. So this is going to be quite a big wall, I think. Just, you know, something vaguely horizontal. Connecting this area to this area. Uranium Island is interesting. Just conceptually. There's just an island that has uranium on it. Wild stuff. So... I can't really measure or gauge distances very well on the map screen relative to how many walls we have. But we'd have to go here to here. Then... here... to basically just the rest of the way. Maybe here to here? Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really help us. We may as well just make the wall. Alright, well, we're starting with roughly 200 wall pieces. That's gonna at least be quite a fair bit of it. And by the time we put it down and get back, we'll likely have plenty for the rest of the wall, however much it needs. So, any technology available? Yes. Grenades are just such a helpful utility because they allow you to blow up trees in bulk very rapidly. And I believe with Explosion Damage Upgrade 1, they destroy them in one hit. Which would save us, like, a good deal of money on our wall purchases. And the reason we can't actually use walls for any of this is because we want to ensure that... or that we can't, like, keep the trees around is because we want to ensure that there are no gaps in the wall. Trees have less health than the walls themselves. And also are harder to verify that a gap does or does not exist between. Wait, what the? We have we have some invaders. They have made a forward outpost. This is not good. I was not prepared for a fight right now. This is also a technical problem that we do have. the biters will make more bases. They will expand. Which means that if there is a physical path that they can take to get into our base, they could get there and just set up shop without us knowing. And so the wall will do nothing because they're already here, as is the case for this nest right here. Fortunately, we caught it, which gives us the opportunity to sort of intervene. I think we have enough bolts to take this now. Alright, that was a lot less of a problem than I was worried about. And we're out of wall. Oh, that's a big nest down there. So my typical military defensive strategy is to just have a wall lined with laser turrets and then a few artillery stations at like select points in the wall to keep enemies away. And that tends to work out for me. Except for the fact that when the biters get stronger, laser turrets aren't actually strong enough to keep them at bay. Which means you either need to also add in like a repair system, which I don't know if we have access to based on the rules of the challenge. Or you have to like be smart and make a better defense. Oh yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, the chestless requirement in this like challenge was designed to make us use cargo was specifically designed to stop us from using logistics bots to circumvent the inserter spaghetti. But because of the exact way I phrased that, it means we don't have access to construction bots either. Except for, like, personal roboports. The implication of that is that if we want to repair... Like, I understood the implication that if we wanted to build something, we had to physically be present. I was okay with that. But the implication that if we want to repair something, we have to physically be present as well is a concern. Because I don't think... that the construction bots will take anything out of a cargo wagon. This is concerning. Unless there's some way we can trick the system into saying that stuff inside of a train is part of the logistics system? Is that a thing? I'm gonna have to investigate. Either way, let that be known. A wrinkle in our plans may appear in our future. There are plenty of wrinkles in this entire thing, but that's just another one. Satisfied at how the oil trains are going. Wait! That's the plastic train. The plastic train is complete. Marvelous. Great. Good to know that's working. Or at least that it's gotten that far. The crude oil station should work because there's nothing different between what train goes there. Just once it's filled up with crude oil, we gotta go check the plastic station. Hey, we won. Alright, that is our south wall. Now, the only openings that currently exist for biters to stroll into our area uninvited is here. And here. But come on, this is easy. I just need like 10 walls. Put it here and we're good. So it's just encroaching hostiles from the southwest is our main issue. As well as just hostiles that are aggroed by our pollution regardless. This is sort of a kaleidoscopic mess. They're all running. I think that's the last of them. And it was. Didn't even have to look inside the train. That means this little barrel making machine has served its purpose. We can get rid of that. Plastic is being made and being funneled up here for, as of yet, no purpose. Cool. These are in alignment. We want the alignment to be off vertically, perhaps. Otherwise, they won't be able to cross over each other. But then again, do they really need to cross over each other? Because sulfur is an end product. It's used for the... Oopsie. It's used for making the blue science directly. We don't need it until then. The engines are going to be a little bit more awkward. We need to find a way to snake it through to the other side. Or just snake the iron over immediately. Not impossible. But it is if you're out of electric poles. Okay, here's iron. This iron shall go to a dedicated piece of junk machine that will make the steel needed for the engines, as well as the engines itself. We need more stone because I spent it all on walls. Expect an enemy to show up somewhere over here. Like, I'm just anticipating it's going to happen. So this machine that I'm in the process of making is not going to be elegant. It is not going to be efficient. It's not going to be in ratio with anything. It's just going to do its job. That's all I really need of it. It'll make engines. It'll make advanced circuits. It'll make blue science. That's just all it needs to do. It's all it needs to be. We'll make a proper, bulk, scalable solution for a mega base later. All permanent solutions are temporary. All temporary solutions are permanent. That's some engineering philosophy for you. In fact, I'm not even going to start another science until this is done. Okay. Let's begin. To start. To start. Starting up. We get iron. Half of it's melted. Okay, some of it's melted to steel. Some of it is converted to gears. Some of it's converted to pipes. That's going to be a furnace. A furnace. No, sorry, an assembler, and a furnace. I was saying those backwards. Coal will come off of this coal line. Iron will come off of this iron line. Then we will have these two. Then we will pump to here. And then check out this efficiency of space. All three right in. So you make well, we want double pipes, so let's make the pipes first and then the gears just because of how overflow works. And this will make engines. And it's making engines. Great, that's engines done. Then the advanced circuit. Advanced circuit is made with regular circuit, copper cables, and plastic. We have the plastic. We can make the copper cables. We can actually make the copper cables on site if we want to. I remember seeing a machine that built every single stage of the electronic circuits. Green, red, and blue in that order. It involved staggering them in a line like this. And then from there, like putting in the materials in the side. So like if this one down here is the copper cable, we have one inserter going in and then a long-handed inserter to bridge the gap over here. Then this makes the regular, which is then funneled into here. And then things like iron are then inputted from the sides. So if you're following this, this makes copper cable, this makes the regular electric circuit, and then this makes the advanced. The advanced still needs iron. Or the regular needs iron and the advanced needs plastic. That's its sort of bonus ingredient, so to speak. Now we just take copper off the line somewhere. And I will do it from here. So this will make the SIT cable, which will go to both of these machines. Then this will make the regular, and then the plastic, and then it'll make advanced out here. Excellent. Now, we have everything we need. We have sulfur. We have advanced circuits. We have engines. They must all now come together in one machine that builds the blue science pack. And then we will have them. And then they will be ours. Good. The alignment is good. Actually, we don't need any of this anymore. Which is actually to our benefit. We'll put them here. You. Blue science. Chemical science is what it's called. Sorry, inserter. The engine alignment needs to go down. It needs to be changed vertically. Good. Now we have room for the long-handed to pick it up. And we just put an output here. Output there. Long-handeds to victory. A bit up, a little bit forward. And then fill in the power gap. They take freaking forever. So I think the bottleneck is even the chemical processing itself. I thought it'd be the engines. It might still be the engines, but it ain't that big of a deal. 2 engines, 3 advanced circuits. Like, it's fine, it's fine. I will not build a third machine. This is enough. Okay. It's not a lot, but we have blue science. It's being made. I'm actually very satisfied by this. We can now get research of a kind that we want. Now, what does this open up to us? Lasers will give us laser turrets, which do not need to be babysitted with a giant logistics line to give them bullets, which is convenient for me personally. Advanced oil processing is the next sort of technological step required to advance in the game. But it's also a major bottleneck in me not actually knowing how to do it with the challenge constraints that I've provided. Substations will make the distribution of electricity much cleaner, in the sense that there won't be cables literally everywhere, which I think, you know, is a virtue in its own right. Electric furnaces will give us the rare and highly useful power of running furnaces without having to run coal to them. Coal will be completely disjointed from our need to fuel furnaces, and smelting can now happen anywhere without coal being belted through to it. Not even belted, inserted lines to it. This is helpful because it opens up an entire alignment that doesn't have to be used because coal no longer has to go to those machines. This also means that coal, it would now only be used for, at the current time, powering our steam engines, powering our trains, and making plastic. This removes the need for coal in so many places. It is so helpful. But it is also so expensive. But since we don't really need anything else for the time being, I think that this is how we're going to go in the future. We'll start this research, and we'll end the stream in a few minutes, I guess. And the focus going into the next stream will be mass production of resources we need. We built a fancy little train factory that built assemblers and stuff, but we need more mining facilities, better mining facilities, more assembly facilities that can make assemblers, mining drills, and all that good stuff so that we can like continue to move this process along. This is as far as we can really get, just sort of like doing the bare minimum to get each like material requirement. Like we're barely making enough science to get by. If we want to progress further, we are going to need bulk production. We are going to need mass manufacture stuff. Maybe wondering why I'm picking up those solar panels. It's because I'm moving them over here. So the big system that I use for solar panels is I use one medium electric pole, put 8 solar panels in a square, and then accumulators are placed in these little 4x4 boxes in between everything else. So this way I can arbitrarily create solar panel and accumulator like power zones as I need. And it's a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 solar panel small electric pole tiles equals 1 accumulator tile in order to flatten out the electricity curve of the solar panels. And this is effectively because the amount of energy that can be stored in one accumulator is about as much as you would have if you flattened out the solar panel curve over the entire day instead of just when the sun's out. So one solar panel and an accumulator flattens out the curve, assuming the solar panel and the accumulator is the only thing that exists. So 1-to-1 relationship, but since we solar panels are bigger, 2-to-1 for these tiles. The ratio is actually something closer to like 96 to 100 or something. I don't really remember. I also don't really care, because these are in bundles of 8, and I like 8. It's a good number. Big fan of it. Anyway. Advanced material processing. We are also slightly less than 60 seconds away from the stream having gone an entire hour. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for this good time. Congratulations for the first ever use of... Actually, this might be the second ever use of System Crash, I think. I think Pawn used it, like, the starting stream or something. Either way, thank you for using it. The big fun option, I'd say. In one fell swoop, stuff gets occurred. Also, just thank you for showing up. I already said that. I gotta do my outro. I gotta remember how to do my outro. I'm exception. This isn't TV. Tune in for more me, more not me, more this, more not this. Quint is back. Quint did a stream Thursday. And now Quint should be doing more streams occasionally. Quint figured out how to do it while in Germany. Not the most technically advanced streams ever, but still, streams are available to be done. And I'm happy that Quint's back. I'll be much happier when Quint is geographically back as well, and as a more powerful computer to do more powerful streams, and also, like, cool video editing. If I can nag Quint into doing that, or to at least teach me how to do video editing so I can make some good highlights. That's what I care about. I'm gonna go. Have a good day, and good night.